Don't we all love a bargain? There's nothing quite like finding that value that everyone else has missed. This is especially true for football fans. While the media derive great satisfaction from teams splashing the cash, the fans often enjoy the players signed for that cut price just a little bit more. For this list, I decided to focus on great players for modest fees rather than decent players for almost nothing. In a time where your local Boy Scouts defender seems to be going to Chelsea for 80 million, it seems fitting to look back on the 10 best Premier League value signings. Small side note, this list aged me. I've had so many versions, so many placements. In the end, managed to cut quite a few players I thought were surefire entries when I started. Every time I thought I was done, I'd reconsider something, and yeah, this one was difficult. Quick disclaimer, in this list we are only counting players who arrived at the club while the club was in the league, and players who fetched a transfer fee. So Judas Campbell can f*** right off. Thank you. Number 10, Cristiano Ronaldo, Sporting Lisbon to Manchester United, 12 million in 2003. I think we could all write this entry. One of the greatest of all time was purchased as a young starlet by an already strong Manchester United side in 2003 and became arguably the best player in the world while playing for the Red Devils. Pace, power, skill, diving. Ronaldo could do it all better than anyone else, and his career would only go on to reach greater heights when he left Old Trafford for a world record fee to Real Madrid. The only reason he's number 10 is he cost a disgracefully high 12 million. Clearly a huge overinvestment for one of the best of all time. Even worse than that, breaking the 10 million mark. Ugh, disgusting.
This is disgusting!
Number 9, Thierry Henry, Juventus to Arsenal, 1999, 11 million. Another terrible overspend. Double figure millions for arguably the best player in Premier League history. Terrible business by Arsenal here. I'm not sure what you want me to say, really. Pace, power, touch, tremendous finishing, intelligence, a devastating goal scorer, and the spearhead of Arsenal's greatest Premier League side. The Frenchman absolutely terrorised the league before giving us peace when he moved to Barca in 2007. 8 years of this guy destroying everyone. 8. The fact that he and CR7 are only 10 and 9 on this list shows you the absurd value for money we have later on. Number 8, Dennis Bergkamp, Inter Milan to Arsenal, 1995, £7.5 million. Oh good, more trauma. What do you even say about this spy? After a promising young career at Ajax, Bergkamp struggled in Italy, leaving Inter to go to Arsenal for less than he arrived, only to reignite his career and prove one of the best signings in Premier League history. An absolute genius on the pitch, Bergkamp was known for being the brain of the incredible Arsenal side that Arsene Wenger put together. Scorer of some of the most iconic goals in football history, including his immaculate touch against Newcastle, and arguably the best goal in World Cup history versus Argentina. A legendary player, and I don't want to say any more nice things about Arsenal players. Please leave me alone now. Number 7, N'Golo Kante, Cannes to Leicester, 2015, £5.6 million. His bicycle riding alone is worth the fee of admission, although those pictures are admittedly from his time with the French national side. The world's cutest man arrived in Leicester in 2015 to little fanfare, but quickly established himself as the best defensive midfielder of a generation. Blessed with both incredible ability to read the game and almost unparalleled levels of fitness, Kante could stop opposing attacks from minute 1 to minute 90. You would never begrudgingly respect him more than when he kept taking the ball off of your players. And he seemed to be everywhere at once. Instrumental in both Leicester's fairy tale Premier League win and Chelsea's title run the year after. Absolutely incredible. Number 6, Vincent Kompany, Hamburg to Manchester City, 2008, £6 million. Number 6, 6 million? Get it? The words value signing and Manchester City don't really seem to fit together nowadays, but Vincent Kompany was exactly that for them in 2006. Kompany was another player who was not the big media story upon his arrival, but he would prove to outshine every massively more expensive signing Manchester City made in this position since. For about a tenth of what City seem to spend on nearly every new player nowadays, Kompany was the heart and soul of an otherwise rather heartless oil state. He could be even higher on this list had it not been for his injury struggles. A long-term captain and leader as well as a brilliant defender, Kompany embodied everything you could hope to see in a modern centre-back. Also, his title-sealing goal for Manchester City is an all-time Premier League moment, taking the title away from Liverpool in heartbreaking fashion. Good job, Vinny. Good job. Number 5, Ashley Cole, Arsenal to Chelsea, 2006, 5 million plus Gallas. Perhaps even better than signing an unknown star is taking one of your direct rival star players. This is what happened in 2006 when a falling out over contract terms left Chelsea with a golden opportunity to sign Arsenal left-back Ashley Cole. Chelsea did not miss their chance and signed Cole after a protracted transfer saga for a mere £5 million, with William Gallas used as a makeweight. Cole was an exemplary defender for Chelsea, performing heroics time and time again for the Blues. As Alistair put it, and I quote, 5 million and a dead William Gallas for the best fullback in Premier League history. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Number 4, Peter Schmeichel, Brøndby to Manchester United, 1991, £505,000. It was a close call between two United goalkeeping greats, as Van der Sar's £2 million move from Fulham was also an incredible bargain. But we've gone for the bigger icon at the club and the best goalkeeper in Premier League history, Peter Schmeichel. Like many on the list, his arrival was not met with much excitement at the time, but the Great Danes moved from Brøndby for a mere $505,000 in 1991 is certainly up there with the all-time great bargains. Schmeichel was an imposing figure who commanded his box, with the speed, size and extraordinary reflexes allowing him to get his giant bare paws to many a ball that seemed destined to hit the back of the net. 398 appearances, 15 trophies and his legend status secured. It's safe to say this move exceeded any reasonable expectations. Number 3, Robin van Persie, Feyenoord to Arsenal, 2004, 2.75 million. Another Dutch striker, another Arsenal signing. Make it stop. Arsenal managed to sign the young Dutch prospect in 2004. Big things were expected from Van Persie, and boy did he deliver. A talisman for years for Arsenal, his career only hampered by injuries. Towards the end of his time at Arsenal, he had become something of a one-man team, proving to be an issue when Arsenal became a no-man team when he left and joined Manchester United. He'd be the key man at United, where he delivered the last Premier League title Sir Alex Ferguson's career. Fear not, Arsenal fans, you can keep telling yourselves that he left for the money, and not the trophies. Okay, well, thankfully we're finished with Arsenal now. Wait, what? Oh goddamn. Number 2, Patrick Vieira, Milan to Arsenal, 1996, 3.5 million. So many Arsenal entrants on the list, but in terms of sheer value for money, it's hard to argue against one of the best midfielders in Premier League history for just £3.5 million. Vieira could do everything. Defensively dominant, a great passer, could run for days. For all of the flair and brains in the Arsenal side, Vieira was the beating heart right at its centre. Arsenal fans bemoaned for years after his departure that they never truly replaced the Frenchman, although granted Jackal is having a good season. Looking back, Arsene Wenger really did buy brilliantly in this period, building the best team in the league on a relatively modest budget. Thank God Arsenal don't buy like this anymore. No, you don't, Arsenal fans. Look at Pepe. Look at him. I could do honourable mentions here, but to be honest, there's so many of them that they could easily form their own list. For example, Azpilicueta's move from Marseille to Chelsea, Andy Robertson from Hull to Liverpool, Nemanja Vidic from wherever the hell he was to Manchester United, and Christian Eriksen from Ajax to Tottenham Hotspur were all fantastic value signings, all worthy of a shout out, all fantastic signings, just didn't quite manage to crack this incredibly difficult top 10. And now, with no further ado, number 1, Eric Cantona, Leeds to Manchester United, 1992, 1.2 million. The greatest bargain in Premier League history for everyone's favourite after-dinner speaker.
Crimes, wars will still kill us.
Nearly never happened. Then United striker, now housing enthusiast Dion Dublin, broke his leg in 1992, forcing Sir Alex to look for a replacement striker. Initially it seemed that Sheffield Wednesday man Paul Hurst would be heading to Manchester United for £4 million before that deal fell through. In the aftermath, the Red Devils managed to secure the maverick Frenchman for just £1.2 million. Charismatic, creative, obscenely talented, Cantona made Old Trafford his own, pushing United almost single-handedly from contenders to 4-time title winners during his time there. He ended his 5-year spell at Old Trafford with 9 trophies in total, deciding to retire from football at the very top of the game. A factory for iconic moments, from his chip followed by slowly turning celebration to kung fu kicking a fan. Cantona was a true entertainer and more than deserving of our number 1 spot. And that's our list. Which bargain do you think could have made it to our top 10, or our other top 10, or our third top 10, or... Let us know, and don't forget to do the subscribing with the bell and the ding-a-ling and the this list killed me. Goodbye.